Greeting, guys. So, Olatobi and Stephen, over to you.
All right. Good afternoon. Good evening, all. I want to thank the leadership of this platform for this opportunity and to be able to share a little knowledge about this LSA codes. So sharp, I'm just going to kickstart without wasting time. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 6, launching and embarkation appliances, just like we have on the screen there. And then if we are to take this thing paragraph by paragraph, it's going to take a whole lot of time. So we're just going to summarize, and then of course this does not stop us from still going back to the book and reading off these things. My little research while I was doing this thing, I get to understand that we have to. It's something that's like a process or like a chain that you have to. How do I say it? No, the fact that you read chapter 4 does not stop you from reading chapter 1 and 2 and 3 thereabout. So they can still refer you back to these chapters and all of that. So quick one here, general requirements, chapter 6, general requirements. What are the requirements for these things? And then here we have the exemption of secondary means of launching for free-fall lifeboats. It means we have the primary means, we have a secondary means. So you ask yourself, what are the primary means and what are the secondary means? Yeah. So secondary means here is it's talking about the motor, the gravity, and all of this. Yeah. So it said with the exemption of this one for free fall lifeboats. So basically for free fall lifeboats, not that we cannot use the secondary means, but with the exemption of it now, it's better we use the primary means. The primary means is basically when everybody is boarded in the craft free-fall lifeboats, and then the person who is in charge as a cost swing, releases the gear and all of this, and that's what like the primary means. So yes, says with the exemption of the secondary means. All right. So each launching appliances shall be so arranged as the fully blah blah blah. Rescue boats can be safely launched against unfavorable conditions of trim of up to 10 and a list of up to 20. Either ways, yeah. So a list of 10, a trim of 10 and a list of 20. It means that if we have a list of 20, will our means of launching still be sufficient? I'll give us a practical example here. Let's say that our wire, this wire that we are using to roll up this thing down to the sea, right? Is capable of let's say 80 meters. Just for example, 80 meters, yeah. Under normal condition, where we have a calm weather and all of this, no train, no list, no rough weather, just a good weather, 80 meters. And then if we're having a trim of 10 meters, we require more wires, yeah, because now we are the distance from the sea level is going to be deeper, so we need more wire. The requirement here says that even up to 10 degrees of trim and 20 degrees of lift, we should still be able to launch this thing safe. So the wire should be able to be sufficient to launch up to 10 degrees and 20 degrees of lift. So that's what it means there. I'll quickly rush down to 611.2. 6112. Interesting. That one speaks about oil tanker vessels, chemical tankers, gas carriers. Yeah, this is basically to avoid pollution. You understand? Launching of this. Let's say we have a hole on our starboard side, and then we are trying to heal up this vessel to let's say up to 20 degrees, yeah, and we need to disembark from this vessel because it's not more safe for us. The requirement says that we should look for a lower side of the vessel, right? And then we should be able to launch. The fact that we have a hole on our starboard side should not deprive of, let's say, the rescue boat is at the starboard side. Now, we cannot launch at the starboard side because uh, that's where we cannot launch at the port side because our rescue boat is at the starboard side. The government said that's not allowed. Just to avoid pollution, basically, yeah, we should be able to launch either ways and then do it safe.
Are you talking about rescue boat or life boat?
Lifeboat, sorry.
Okay.
I'm talking about 611.2 now.
Okay.
6112.
You said rescue boat, so that's why I was.
Your lifeboat, sorry, lifeboat.
Thank you.
Yeah, so basically, just to avoid pollution there, if you're able to do this thing safe without polluting the water. So up next, we're talking about. I'll just pick them because if I said I should go through all these things, it's going to take a lot of time. So 16113. When launching these appliances, we should also not depend on any means aside from the gravity and stored mechanical powers. You know, stored mechanical powers we can get this power from the ship. You know, these two means rescue boats.
Sorry, we can't hear you anymore. Or is it network for me?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yes, better now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so this means it's saying that by gravity or by power, we should be able to do it. Whether we have fully equipped lifeboat, the lifeboat is fully equipped. I mean, equipment are there. We have food that is embarking, loaded or light. That's what that part means. Loaded or light, we should still be able to do it safe. And then I find one other one interesting there. The 16115. Launching appliance with attached other than winch brake shaft to sufficient strength than a battery static load test of not less than 2.2 times the maximum working load. You know, this means that the winch brakes must have a sufficient strength to withstand the battery static load. That is the winch brake 2 times the working load. Let's say we have let's say we have 4 working load. They say working load is 4 SWL, yeah. We should have this winch brakes must be capable of having times 2.2 times. That's 4 times 2.2. It should be capable of holding this like firm. I also have another interesting one here at 6116. All structural members, the brakes, the blocks, the hard eyes, links, and all fittings are use must be designed considering the safety as key factor that they require for working load. For the structural members, which are 4.5, and the blocks, the hard eyes, the links, which are 6. It means that these are the safe working load for these things. It should not be less than structural members should not be less than 4.5, while the blocks, the board, hard eyes should not be less than 6. Please, you can just call my attention if you have any question or any correction or observation alongside. But if there's none, I'll just keep shooting. Yeah. So, hello, can we hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're coming very faint anyway. I think if you can be more audible, it will be better.
Okay, more audible. All right. Okay, so 6117, yeah, 6117. It says each launching appliance shall, as far as practicable, remain effective under conditions of high. This is basically for vessels that are navigating around the cold areas, yeah. So the fact that you are navigating around the cold area does not exonerate you from your appliances working effectively. So cold not supposed to catch your brake. That's what it means basically. It means your brake must be working. Everything must be working, even with the cold or the icing or stuff. So basically, that's what that means. Lifeboat launching appliances and capable of recovering lifeboat with its crew. Fine. This one, uh, how do I explain this one without offending the local guys here, local content ship owners? So your lifeboat should be able to work effectively with the crew, bringing up the crew, not like that strength is the load is too much. Let's reduce some things. Let's bring out the fence pushers. Let's bring out the paddles and all of this. No, every equipment and the crew, the lifeboats and the mechanism or everything should be able to work effectively, fully equipped and fully crewed personnel or crew members on board. So I do talk about the next one also that I find interesting. Yeah, so what other one do we have? Okay, let's go to 6119. Launching appliances should be fitted with a powered winch motor capable of raising the rescue boat from the water with its full complement of person and equipped at the rate of not less than 0.3 meters per second. That's what that one means there. 119, I said earlier on. So the launching appliances should be fitted with winch motor capable of, raising up the rescue boat from the water. And just like I explained before, the appliances must be checked, but very okay to bring up this equipment at the same time. I'll go to 61110. That one says that the arrangement of launching shall be such a way that it enables safe boarding of survivor craft in accordance with the requirement of paragraph 414.2. Just like I said when I started the class, that
That would be
this
in chapter 4. That would be in chapter 4.
yeah.
That's requirements of paragraph 4.1, that's 4.2, and then go. I think that should be in chapter 4.
Yeah, that should be in chapter 4, because now they have to refer us back. This thing is interwoven. You cannot say that because you've done chapter 4 before and then you cannot still say some important or some requirement that you need to carry out in chapter 5, 6, and as the case may be. So in this chapter 4, it's just talking about making emphasis that arrangement was enhance, safe, and rapid boarding. We'll go back to our chapter 4 maybe after now. I can go back there. Just do this thing. Chapter 4, 1.1.4.2 is just emphasizing on how crew members and personnel will launch the rapidly, safe, and then everybody's cool and there's no casualty, and just encouraging or emphasizing on the safety and the rapidness of launching the thing. So nothing serious. You can go back and check up these chapters when we're much less busy. Yeah. So I talk about 61111. 61111. The means of it's talking about the means those recovery strokes. I also make a little research about this thing. This, for instance, I make an example so that we can probably get to know. If we have a bad weather, right, and then we're trying to recover life boat from the sea. You know that there's a hook from the wire, and then there's a hook that we need to hook the live boat, right? So if we let's say we have a bad weather now, something might just come in and your hand gets, fixed in between the thing, and that's very dangerous. So there's like a hanger I saw online. I don't know because I've not seen this on board before, but I saw this thing online. Just like an hanger to protect you from directly putting your hand in between this hook. So that's what that 61111 is. In such a weather, when we have a terrible weather, you should not still deprive us or deny us from putting this thing back on board. That anger in such a situation, that anger is useful for that protection to recover this thing. It's important. So do you have any question from that before I shoot to 61.2? 61.2 now. All right. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. We are following. I'm following very well. Let's go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to 61.2 now. And then that's talking about launching appliances using the force and winch, yeah? So here, simple, force and winch. The force we talked about briefly about when we talked about secondary means of launching and primary means of launching. So this is the exact or simple explanation of the primary and secondary means of launching. The force, using the force we inside the life, releasing the gears, and everybody goes. And then the winch, using power or gravity or anything, basically using power, the motor, having power to this wind, and then we release easily and everybody is safe, right? Again, it refers us back to 611 general requirement that with the winch or with the force at the least of 20 degrees and a trim of 10, you should still be able to do this successfully, right? Then again, there's a sweet one here at 6.1.2.2. Launching mechanism shall be so arranged that it will be accurate by one person from the position of ship deck, and except for secondary launching appliances for P4 live boat from a position within the survival craft or rescue boat. When launched, by a person on the deck, the survival craft or rescue boat shall be visible to that person. Right. So the last paragraph there, I take that it means that whoever is launching this lifeboat or rescue boat, right, should be visible. You should be able to see what you are launching. You cannot be at the starboard side and you are launching at the port side and somebody is telling you, okay, easy, draw, slack arm. No, the person should be able to see this thing so that you'll be able to know what you are doing. Now, that aside, let's say that everybody is dead on that vessel and you are the only one left. You cannot say because you are not seeing it, you cannot launch so that you self fire go burn yourself. No. It means that the thing must be visible to you. So that's why you see most of these motor, they are always close to where the rescue boat or the live boat is, so that you can see it and be able to use your initiative or your experience or whatever, the manual, to launch this thing successfully. Not like somebody transferring from one information to another. Like my people will say, if I give the information that is passed through a chain might not be exactly the first person says it. Let's say, for instance, the captain is saying that clean this place and mop it tomorrow morning. He tells the chief officer. Chief officer tells the second officer. Before he gets to the AB or the OS, the the, the information not complete again. So that's what it means. Basically, just the lifeboat should be visible and you should be able to do this thing yourself. Right. Again, force shall be of rotational resistance and corrosion resistance, steel wire. Simple. That's why we have routine checks on these wires. No, like the wire is rusted and it cannot work again and all of this. You have to fix it and all of this. Yeah. And there's a place here that I found interesting again. I'll go to 6126. An efficient handgear shall be provided for recovery of such survival craft. And now you find it interesting that of a weight of about of that rescue boat or lifeboat, somebody is saying that we should use handgear. I'm not sure this is still in existence, but of course there might be provisions for it on some vessels that you see where you can use the manual handgear, but that's going to be a lot of strength too. For those that are eating about well built, use your strength to give this thing down. Let's say that maybe there's no power on the vessel, there's no means of electricity, the chains are bad and all of this. So the only means is by the hand gear. So of course, this is just the requirements are there just to, so that we don't have excuses of not running out of this danger or running out of any means of that could further endanger our lives. So if one stops, another one should be there, another one should be there, like that. All the means of launching should not be affected at the same time. Before it gets to that point, we should be able to disembark and everybody finds the same point to go. Right. So I'll move on to 6.1.2.8. This one does not really affect us because this one, this requirement is for the manufacturers. You have the speed and the height there, right? So this is basically for those that are building these motors. These are the requirements that they must follow. These are the requirements that they must follow. And when building these things, it's not just some vessels that are avoided. There's low, there's high, so you can speed up this thing and it will go like that back to the water. And then there's one you can do easy and it will just go. But whatever the case is, whether you are high or you are low, this is what's it called? This is the manufacturers. This is what the manufacturers must follow. The speed is 0.4 at the height of 0.02. That's what they must follow. So this one a little bit affects us or concerns us. Lowering speed of a fully equipped life raft without the persons on board shall be to the satisfaction of the administration. Because the lowering speed of other survival crafts fully equipped without persons on board shall be at least 70% of the required for paragraph 6128. Again, they are referring us to the above first paragraph we talked about briefly. So the thing is that you cannot just do what you think is safe because I think that I'm a manufacturer now, and I know that anytime they want to launch rescue boat or live boat or whatever, is of because maybe the crew are in danger. So I want it so that they can launch it fast. No, there is a requirement that must be followed. There's a requirement that must be followed, right? So that being said, I'll go down to let's touch a little bit of 6.1 to 11. Every launching appliances shall be fitted with brakes capable of stopping the distance of survival craft or rescue boat and holding it securely when loaded with its full complement of persons and equipment. Brake pads shall, when necessary, be protected from water or oil. Yeah. So the capacity of these appliances must be good enough to hold firmly, to hold securely, to hold, what other English can I use now? To hold, make sure that it's safe. When the lifeboat is fully equipped with person on board and with whatever survival gadget or whatever survival equipment they've held along with them, the requirement says that the appliance must be firm enough, must be secured enough to hold them down the water. Not like you board upstairs or at the height of the vessel and then you guys are going and the thing just brake pads will just fail because there's oil there or because water has touched the brake pads and it's not holding again. No, there must be protections from this thing. That's why you see sometimes, I don't know if you've experienced it on our vessels, that you use a little tampon to cover some of these things just from direct water or direct seawater or fresh water or even rainfall on these wires or this brake pad and all of this. So that's what that means there. So there must be protections against all these things because it often says that when we don't take care of these things, when we need them most, they won't answer us. So proper checks must be done on these things. Again, manual brakes shall be so arranged that the brake is always applied unless the operator, either on deck or in survival craft or rescue boat, holds the brake control in the off position. It has what do I call it? Um, the thing is not just free will like this that you just slip off and it just go. No, it has brakes. It cannot just go at the speed of light. Like if I'm to use that, there must be brakes and to go easy like that. And that's the most important thing there, that everything is done safe. Yeah. The last one before float free launching, a boat launching appliances shall be provided with means of hang off the lifeboat to a free to hang off the lifeboat to free the unload release mechanisms from maintenance. Yeah, this is also important, very, very important. In fact, in some companies that they take it so serious that when you want to do anything like maintenance on it like this, yeah, you have to apply this word. I'm trying to get this word now. Like a force preventive device, FPD, right? So you put this force preventive device in between these hooks so that if yourself, maybe paraventure, somebody use mistake to just touch it while you are doing this maintenance, that preventive device will just hold it down like that, to not just jack up or slip off from this thing. So once this force preventive device is put in place, you can be at least sure that there's not going to be casualties or accidents whatsoever. I hope you understand that. So if there's any question, please, you can just come alongside. You can just put it up and stop me at any point.
Okay, let me chip in something for the sake of those that might not understand this device, especially if you maybe in the offshore and you don't have a live boat. So if you have on your vessel and anytime you install it, please take a picture and send it to the group. It is very, very important, okay. All right, for when you're doing inspections and either for free fall or the regular ones, just send it to the group so that people will be able to see it, take a good picture.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cap. So next one is 6.13, 6.13, float free launching, float free launching. This is very simple. This is it's so straightforward. Where a survival craft requires launching appliances and also designed to float free. The float free release on survival craft from its stored position shall be automatic. Bam, finito. In this case, it's automatic. So the English there is so clear. Fast forward, I'll move to 6.14. 6.14. Launching appliances for free for light boats. Launching appliances for free for light boats. Again, they are referring us back to paragraph 611. General requirement there. General requirement. Those that come to the class maybe need to be late. I talked about it earlier on that on no account should you say that because your the vessel or the mechanism is so designed that even if you have a list of up to 20 degrees, and a trim of 10 degrees, yeah, you should still be able to launch safely under unfavorable conditions. You should still be able to launch safely. So that's what that means. We must be able to follow that requirement to keep referring us back to requirement. So up next, up next, go to we go to 414.2, 414, 614, 6142. This talks about protection against harmful acceleration forces. We go back to read paragraph 47314 and 4732. For that gives us guidelines on how to follow to avoid accidents or injuries. The free fall seems to be the most dangerous for me. So there's a need to follow every instructions from boarding and from body to sitting down to wrapping up your fastening your seat belt to the way you should sit in the lifeboat. All of these instructions must just be carried out to the letter, without missing anything, without saying I don't need to do this thing before. You just follow instructions. Follow instructions. Where you're supposed to use your seatbelt, use. Where you're supposed to use your helmet, when you're not supposed to stand, walk around the boat, just sit down, follow instructions. That's what it is. And accident don't just happen. It's when we don't follow, due process or follow what we are supposed to. That's why you see we have accident all around and incident support, you know. And then the next one is talking about the launching appliances shall be constructed so as to prevent sparking and incidental friction during the launching. Again, this is referring back to the construction. There's a requirement for it, what should be constructed and all of this. So back to back, I'll be talking about 6146, 6146 now, yeah, 6146, and then that talks about the mechanism works in such a way that at least two independent actions from inside the lifeboat are required in order to launch the lifeboat. It's interesting there that I'm just going to read it up straight up. The release mechanism shall.
Quick question. Why, not just to you, anybody can answer this. Why do you have to have two independent actions before it's for launching? In this case, why do you think it is important?
Okay, do you have anybody that wants to answer that, or I should just say what I understand?
Yeah, you can answer as well.
Yeah, so I think that I feel that in case of one fails, one should be a backup.
Okay. Well, that's one. So it says what did you say again? Two independent action from inside. You have to do two things, one and the other. So if you operate like a drill or some power equipment, you see, you have to do two things: press something, release, and do something before it works, so that you don't accidentally go and launch as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks.
All right.
We have about 15 minutes to go, and we need to get
15 minutes to go. Oh.
so we need to get Stephen as well. So
okay, so I'll just quickly rush down so that Mr. Steve can just take up on this. I'll talk about the embarkation ladder quickly, right? So embarkation ladder, that's 616. Embarkation ladder, as simple as it is, or as simple as we look at it, like this is just a ladder. There are specifications that should be carried out or should be followed before manufacturing these things. You can't just like you can't just use any rope or any Afion rope and just construct this thing. No, it has to be a manila rope. You know, we are even giving dimensions at or measurement at which this thing should be constructed. I remember during my days on tankers, I used to see some rubber, steps before the wooden ones. I was asking my bosom then, what's this thing for now? And he gave me one funny answer. Then after some time, I begin to understand that it's not even what he told me now. So those rubber you see on your embarkation ladders, find some rubber steps before the wooden one, just to avoid corrosion, or so that this wooden one don't get spoiled, because the later part always gets into the water. So if you have a rubber one, of course, it can't get spoiled. And then we have a spreader, after some, just to get this thing in shape so that they don't tangle and all of this. So you can read more about this embarkation ladder on 6.1.6. Now I'll just go ahead and allow Mr. Steve talk about. You pick it up from this place and continue at 6.1.7. 6.1.7. Mr. Steve, over to you, please. Is Mr. Steve there? Our network is gone.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much. Yeah. 6.1.7. I will take from 6.1.7 quickly, because we are short of time. It says launching appliances for fast rescue boats. So in this case, we'll be talking about fast rescue boats and launching appliances there. It says 6.1.7.1 says every fast rescue boat launching appliances shall comply with the requirements of paragraph 6.1.1 and 6.1.2 and 6.1.2.10, and in addition shall comply with the requirements of this paragraph. And what are these requirements? The launching appliances shall be fitted with a device to dampen the forces due to interactions of waves when the fast rescue boat is launched or recovered. The device shall include a flexible element to soften shock forces and to dampen elements to minimize oscillation. So what are you trying to say? Just trying to say quickly that appliances that are used to launch a fast rescue boat, FRC, or as the case may be, should be in such a way that it will be able to withstand what the swinging motions that can happen as a result of the roughness of the sea, or anything that could be in the case, as the case may be. So if it's been launched, such launching appliances should be able to withstand these forces that could affect, that could come around with the condition of launching. And it says also in 6.1.73, the winch shall be fitted with an automatic high-speed tensioning devices which prevents the wire from going slack in all state conditions in which the fast rescue boat is intended to operate. The winch brake shall have the gradual action when the fast rescue boat is lowered at full speed and the brake is applied sharply. The additional force induced on the wire due to retardation shall not exceed 0.5 times the working load of the launching appliances. So what is this trying to say? Saying if there is an additional force that will be added on this brake, on the launching appliances, it should be in such a way that it does not exceed 0.5 times the working load of such launching appliance. The lowering speed of the fast 6.1.7.5, the lowering speed of the fast rescue boats with its full complement of persons and equipment shall not exceed 1 meter per second, notwithstanding the requirements of paragraph 6.1.9. Fast rescue boats launching appliances shall be capable of hoisting the fast rescue boats with 6 persons and its full complement of the equipment at a speed of not less than 0.8 meter per second. The appliance shall also be capable of lifting the rescue boats with its maximum number of persons and can be accommodated in it as calculated in accordance with paragraph 4.42. Now, if you check very well, what it's trying to say here, it says this launching this hoisting uh, uh, appliances, this launching appliances should be able to do what? Carry at least 6 persons or the full complement of that rescue boat, as the case may be. And it has its own statutory requirements, and we should take very note of this, that these are given to shipbuilding companies and classification society also to ensure that these are complied with in construction of this live FRC launch line appliances. I will quickly go to 6.2. It says marine evacuation system. The construction of the marine evacuation system. The passage of the marine evacuation system shall provide for safe descent of persons of various ages, sizes, physical capabilities, wearing of approved life jackets, and from the embarkation station to the floating platform or survival craft. The strength and construction of the passage 6.2.12 says strength and construction of the passage and platform shall be to the satisfaction of the administration. The platform, if fitted, because so many FRC in some vessels, to check very well, have the platform. So the requirements for platforms for this FRC is given in this 6.2.1.3, and we should take very quick note of that. In point 3 here, one of the requirements that the platform should be able to do what? In point 3, it says has a sufficient area that will provide for the securing of at least 2 life rafts for boarding and to accommodate at least the number of persons at any time are expected to be on the platform. This usable platform area shall be at least equal to 20% of the total number of persons that the marine evacuation system is certified to carry, divided by 4 divided by 4 times, divided by 4, sorry, or in a meter square, or 10 meters square, whichever is greater, or however the administration may approve alternate arrangements which are demonstrated to comply with all the prescribed performance requirements. I will also quickly move on to the next. So because this one's basically talking about all requirements that has to do with a marine evacuation system platform. So read through all through because it's well explanatory itself in itself. So I will quickly go to 6.2.2. It says performance of marine evacuation system.
We understand the marine evacuation itself. You know, that's something that we have to go back and look at. If you understand, some vessels have it, some don't. Okay, so which kind of vessels have a marine evacuation system? Just like some vessels have lifeboats, some don't. So this is very peculiar to some vessels, and if you have it, then this is the requirement for you to have. So I'm just chipping that in so that you don't get confused. Yeah, all right. So there's a marine evacuation. I'll try and see if I can get a picture of the vessel that has it and what it looks like and share with us.
Okay, Cap. Okay, Cap. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, going to this 6.2.2, the performance of the marine evacuation system. You see, it continues with the minimum requirements that this marine evacuation system should be able to, have. I think majorly marine evacuation systems, from the one I've seen a very a cruise liner that has this evacuation system on its on the site where these life rafts are also fitted together with on that platform. So I think Some ships are specialized to have this marine evacuation system and platforms, just like Captain properly said. So are we quickly going to go on to, not without wasting much time on that, I'll go on to life raft because we don't have much time. We can just have 5 minutes.
Just a quick one. Let me quickly share something about the marine evacuation system I've seen now, so that we can just, while we're learning, just say, okay, so I'll change what I'm sharing. All right.
Okay, sir.
Share again, so that we see. I saw a quick video on YouTube, and I think that might make sense. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can see. Can see.
Okay. So I'll let me take it back. You can see what it is.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Video. So, okay, so that was just a quick video for us to all see what it looks like, because with that now,
yes, you
follow.
have an idea. Yeah, for those of us, especially if you did, if we when during our proficiency in survival craft classes, sometimes you see that this could be mentioned because this evacuation system help at least in just as I said, on passenger vessels, cruise liners and passenger vessels where a lot of people who don't have who panic, who have panicking effects, that can affect them, especially during emergency exit on the vessel. So this will provide an easy exit, easy platform to board a life raft, as the case may be.
Yeah, also,
people could just slide.
Launches a lot at a time, as you can see. It's just one time and it launches everything. And because of the height of these vessels to the water, sometimes they don't want to fall and start getting wet or injure themselves while you're trying to save them. So they have a tunnel as well to go in. All right, thanks, sir. You can go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. So I'll quickly go into inflatable life raft. On life raft 6.2.3, inflatable life raft associated with marine evacuation systems. Any life raft used in conjunction with marine evacuation system shall, one, conform with the requirements in section 4.2, be sited close to the system container, but be capable of dropping clear of the deployed system and boarding platform. 3, be capable of release at one time from one storage rack of the arrangement, which will enable it to be moved alongside the platform. 4, be stored in accordance with Regulation 3/13.4, and be provided with pre-connected or easily connected retrieving lines to the platform. You should check very well on that evacuation system that Captain just showed. You could see there are so many lines, browsing lines or other lines that are connected there with. So these lines are actually requirements that are supposed to come with the life raft that are fitted to these platforms. Also, containers for marine evacuation system says the evacuation passage and platform shall be packed in a container that is, 1, so constructed as to withstand hard wear under conditions encountered at sea, and as far as practicable, watertight, except for drain holes in container bottom. 6.2.4.2. This is a very, very important requirement on all, especially on all life rafts. In fact, if you can check on your life raft on your own vessels, every containers of a particular life raft should do what? Should have what? There's a particular sticker that these contracting companies give after a particular survey or inspection on the life raft. They put a sticker. So this sticker is needed because it's a requirement also on every life raft, regardless of whether it's on attached to a platform or not. So the sticker must do what? Is that particular requirement is that must one have a maker's name or trademark, two, a serial number, three, the name of approval authority and the capacity of the system, four, solars, five, date of manufacture, the month and year must be there, and six, date and place of last service. Like you see on my own ship, I have this sticker also. So these things give you this is a requirement. It's not just there. These things we should just know that these things are not just there for us to just see it, because there are requirements as per SOLAS and as per this LSA code that they must be there. So maximum permittable height above storage above water line is also there, and then storage position, and then also the marine evacuation system. On the marine evacuation system, the marine evacuation system shall be marked with also, aside from the container of the life raft, each of these on the evacuation system shall also be marked with serial number, maker's name, date of manufacturer, and month, year, name of approving authority, name and place of servicing station and where it was last serviced, along with the servicing date and the capacity of the system. Carrying capacity, some will say 20 persons, some like that. So some will say 30 persons, depending on the carrying capacity, as the case may be. I think with this, I've come to the end. Captain can take it up from here. If you have any question, you can ask, or if you have any contribution also, or you can chip in. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, thanks to Olatobi. We appreciate you guys. Again, the idea is nothing you see on the ship is decoration. It's there for a reason. So don't say we don't need it. Sometimes when I used to do inspection, I would go and they will say, oh, the EPAB is not working. You mean that because of that EPAB we cannot sail? That's small thing.
That's small thing.
We shouldn't be at that level. We should be speaking like professionals. We should understand why. And these reasons are there. The LSA code is there. We've come through 6 chapters of the LSA code. Other things, I really don't think we should start. This will be interesting.
Captain, I have a question. Sorry, yeah. I have a question on my ship. And there's this turnbuckle. The turnbuckle on my life raft is like a hook. Yeah? Like a hook. Not closed, but people they are saying that I don't know whether it's especially the charterer requirements or it's as per SOLAS. They say these ones that come with a hook like this is no longer required, that they want something totally enclosed turnbuckle. I don't know, is that I don't know if I'm correct or I'm wrong. Is it a requirement?
You mean it's a hook, but it doesn't have a latch?
Sir?
It's a hook without a latch.
It has a latch, just that the hook is open, not closed. It's not enclosed hook. It's like something that it's not like a ring. But they are asking that something should be like, the hook should be like a ring, not an open hook.
Okay, I get what you mean. I understand what you're saying. But what I'm trying to find out is that open hook, does it have a latch? Can you lock it? Can you close it?
Yes, you can close it with, you can close it. But it's still somehow, it's not so strong.
Okay.
You can close it, but it's not so strong.
Okay, that's fine. Well, at this point right now, I cannot give you an immediate answer, except I believe your lifeboat should have been built to class, must have been inspected by class, And if class is okay with it, then it should go ahead. But if it has been changed along the line, like someone just say, oh, maybe something is there before on both sides, but one is not bad. We have this one. Let us just change it, and all that. So you might need to go and bring your certificate for your lifeboat out, lifeboat David out, cascade original one, and because they list all the equipment there. So when they do your 5-yearly or your annual, the guy that comes, he checks all those things. And if it's something that it has to be is obsolete, you have to ask where. Show me where it is obsolete. So that's how we learn. Maybe it could be possible that there's a new regulation that has made it obsolete, but they should be able to show you and all that. The reason I asked about the lash is because some people might be mixing it up because most of the lifting equipment, for crane and all that, some IOCs don't want a crane with just a hook without a latch on it because they feel that if you lift up something, it has happened before, it can just fly off. And that's again, if you remember when Olatobi, is it you or Olatobi was saying something?
This IOC, what they are saying.
Yeah,
they are saying that they don't want.
Yeah, there must be two, you must do 2 actions, for example, before it releases. So you must open it, then release it. They don't want those kind of action. So, that's why I was asking, does it have a lash, proper lash that it's there? You can send me the picture later. We can look into that and take it outside of class. So, so that's how you have to look at it. Don't just take everything because I always say yes. Of course, that's the commercial. If they have a good reason, yes. And again, don't forget, this is the minimum. This is the minimum requirement. You can go above the minimum requirement. So if an IOC is saying for safety reason, we want you to go above the minimum requirement, you might not be able to argue it, but you're not allowed to go below the minimum requirement, if you understand that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I see it. Well, we have chapter 7, which is also very interesting, but the idea is not just to come and read this thing. I wanted us to, those that have been able to read it, I want to have this, wow, that kind of, those kind of reactions. That's what I hope you've had while you have studied this. And I said, oh, that thing I've been seeing. Oh, that is why it's there. That's the idea behind it. So I don't think we should, maybe we should do chapter 7, or we can come back to chapter 7, because next week we are having some quite interesting things that will involve the engineers coming in to explain stuff for us about our AC and all that as well. Okay, Mark, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You've spoken well. I actually want to talk about you mentioned something about, yes, this is the minimum requirement. Yes, I remember while we were at dock the last time, my third officer was trying to grease the wire on the from the David to the lifeboat, and the technical manager was there, and he was like, why are you not putting this wire back into the hose? There used to be an hose that we used to pass the wire through, then turn it around the David and the boat. And the third officer was like, no, that is obsolete. That according to the new regulation now, the convention now, that it is said that we should not use an hose to wrap or to insert our wire anymore. That's so that we can easily grease them on a weekly basis or monthly basis. Because with the hose, what if the wire is broken? How do we know that it's broken? So the TM was now saying, oh, we should have, okay, you can even make it broken hose, like instead of the straight long hose, you can just make it broken that you can easily put with grease gun. You can easily grease them. And so it might be the latest convention though. So, but I understand what you're saying about the bottle screw now has hook, and the other one should have the normal ring. I believe maybe it's the new convention. And I wanted to talk about the having at least 2 independent actions. I was raising my hand, but my network was not allowing me to talk in time. So that is just like you explained it already. It's just like, so for some people should not just go and accidentally say, oh, I accidentally launched the boat inside the water. That is why we have glass on our fire alarm fire alarm devices. That is why we have glasses on our distress button on our GMDSS radio, and also. So that is what I just have to say here. Thank you, sir.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Yes, exactly. So you don't mistakenly just go and press it. Even on your DP or your ship and a couple of things, before you start a particular engine, you have to raise a particular glass So you have done 2 independent actions. You cannot say I made a mistake. How did you make mistake twice? All right, except maybe village people. All right, so thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate this. We have this chapter 7, but I want us to go and read this chapter 7. I think we should look at this chapter 7. It looks interesting to me because all the line train appliances, it's here. And we always see those things on the vessel, the general alarms, general emergency alarm is there as well. Public address system is there. I think that's just a brief one. So it's not a big deal. For your public address system, you should look at the noise level. Noise levels are measured in decibels. Okay. So they have to be at a particular height that people can be able to hear. Loudspeaker installations that should be on the vessels. So those things that you see on the ship, they're not there for decoration, as I said. There are reasons why they are there, and that's why when you go on different vessels, yeah, your alarm might be different, but you have an alarm. Okay, and the line train appliances as well is there. Now, on the line train appliances, when I do inspection, I just say open it. Well, sometimes when they replace the cartridge, they don't secure it to the rope. So you might check yours on your vessel and see that it's been secured, or else you just have it there, you shoot it, and the cartridge will go, but it will not take any line. All right. So I think that's it for the LSA code. Most of the other things are testing and evaluation. That's not really what I want us to do. I want us to stay on the operation side of things. So again, thank you so much, guys, for coming. Next week and the next 2 weeks, we'll be doing a bit more on the engine, on the AC and all that. I used to tell my guys when I was on board as master, even if I don't go to the bridge every day, I go to the engine room every day. I don't trust those guys, No, I'm joking. I trust them. So even the deck guys, I want you to understand the engine things as well. Don't just say it, I'm not interested. You are interested. As you guys know, me, I do everything. I'm a carpenter, I'm a bricklayer, I'm a plumber, I'm an engineer, welder. I'm a jack of all trades. Luckily, I'm a master of one.
Bishop.
I'm a low budget bishop, but people don't pay tithes. So pleasure to have you guys there again. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope we've had fun. And
thank you, sir.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. This is amusement park things. Okay. No, this is amusement park.
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ball. Thanks for coming. Solomon Topper, thank you. Then Sir John, Saidu, Aliu, thank you for coming as well. And you are talking. Mark, yeah, thank you. Mark Tong and Mark. Thank you. Stephen, thank you too for coming. No, thank you for coming. I don't allow my begin chop out the Abga file.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good night, sir.
They don't chop Abga chicken.
So we'll continue up that chicken later.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Solomon. Benson, your hand is up. You can speak, please. Just free. You're free to speak. Benson, yeah, your hand is up. I can't hear you. All right then. Yeah, well, you can chat me up on the group page, okay, Benson? I can't hear you from here. Bye.